Let me get a drink. I need a drink. This is a yerba mate ad. Buy yerba mate energy drinks so you can do makeup. Hey guys, it's me, Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my brow routine. So if you want to see how to turn these puppies into something a lot more attractive, keep watching. As you can see, we are nice and zoomed in today, nice and close, so you can get a good peek at how I'm going to be doing my eyebrows. I have a few tips and tricks I want to share with you guys that I learned when I was going to esthetician school. We had to do a lot of eyebrow waxes and shaping, so I have a few pointers about the best way to get the right shape for your brow. Step 1 to shaping your brow, take a straight object of some sort. You can use a brush. I'm going to go ahead and use the pencil that I'm going to use to fill in my brows. By the way, this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. Obsessed with this eyebrow pencil. Probably will never ever use another one. But I'm going to use it right now to help me find the shape that I want for my brow. So first I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to line it up with the outside part of my nose. Not outside my nostril here, but outside the middle portion of my nose here. As I line it up, I can see where it hits at my brow, and that's right about where I want my brow to begin. And if you can tell, that's where I already have my brows tweezed to start. But if your brows aren't already grown in that far, you can use your pencil to draw your brows in that far. So if your brows aren't already grown in that far, you can take your pencil, make a little mark in that spot just to guide you when you get started. Next, I'm going to take my pencil along the outside part of my nose, outside the nostril this time, and I'm going to put it at an angle that lines up with the outside corner of my eye here. And I can see where I want my brow to end there. So right as I line that up along the outside corner of my eye, I can see where it's ending. And as you can see, yet again, I already have my brow tweezed to end there. But if you don't, make another mark there to show you where you want your ending point to be. Another question a lot of people have is where the arch should be in their eyebrow. The truth is that some people have their eyebrow arches in different places. Some people's eyebrows don't really arch much at all. They're kind of straight. It's really about the look you're going for. But an easy rule of thumb is to take your pencil again along the outside part of your nostril again this time, and go ahead and line it up with the outside of the iris. So you can see right where my eye is brown there, on the outer side of that circle, I'm lining it up, and that's about where my brow should arch. One of the most important tools you're gonna need is a spoolie when you're doing your brows. The Brow Wiz that I was telling you about actually comes with a spoolie on the end here, but if you don't have one on the end of your brow pencil, a lot of eyebrow brushes that you can buy come with one. You're gonna see me use this brush later. It has an angled brush on one end and a spoolie on the other. You can also buy a cheap plastic spoolie with nothing else on it at a dollar store, at a drugstore, but make sure you have some kind of spoolie before you get started. Once I'm ready to start filling in my brows, the first step is brushing my eyebrow hair up. So I'm going to take my spoolie and I'm going to just run it through all of my eyebrow hairs, brushing upwards so that the hair is pointing up. Next, I'm going to take my pencil on the other side and I'm going to start drawing a line underneath where my brow is naturally growing. If you drew some marks to guide you, you're going to want to follow those marks along your brow hairs. Start where you made your first mark, make small hair-like strokes, and drag that line down to where you made your other mark on the end of your brow. So now you can see that I have a line underneath my brow hairs. Next, I'm going to brush those hairs down with the spoolie and do the same thing along the top. When we did the line along the bottom part of our brow, we started from the front of our brow at that first point that you made, or where your brow hair is naturally growing, and we drew it straight across. But when we do the top of our brow, we do not want to start at the very front of our brow. If you make a solid line starting at the very front and draw it across, you're going to see that your brow ends up looking very blocky. It's going to be very obvious that you filled it in with makeup. To avoid that, I'm going to go about the length of my index finger back. So if I place this right in the front of my brow, I'm going to start right where my index finger ends, about there. And I'm going to start that line from that point back, leaving that front space open. And then I'm just bringing it down to meet that bottom line. So now I have my bottom line and my top line. I have a good guide of where my brow is going to end up. So now I'm going to brush my hairs back up with my spoolie the way they're actually going to be laying. Now it's time to fill in the lines that we made. I'm going to start on the outer half of my brow because this side can be as dark as I want. But as I move forward, I'm going to be making much lighter strokes because I want it to have kind of an ombre effect where it's going to be a little lighter in the front. That's part of why we left that open space when we drew the top line. So I'm starting in the back half here and just filling in, and I'm making short, light strokes to make them as hair-like as possible. Slowly moving forward. And now I'm going to run my spoolie through and I'm going to blend out the areas that I've filled in. This is going to help my pencil look a lot more natural. And it will also show me if there are any sparse areas or places that didn't really get filled in by the pencil. And I'm going back in with my pencil now and just filling in any spaces that I saw or gaps that I saw or places that I just didn't think looked right. When in doubt, blend that brow hair out. Now that I'm feeling good about the back half of my brow, I'm going to move on to the front and I'm going to be making much lighter strokes, really paying attention to what I'm doing and slowly going in and pushing those upwards in the same direction my brow hair is growing so that it looks very natural in the front. And then make sure you're going in again with your spoolie and blending that out. I've gone through, I've filled in and I've blended and I've repeated that step as many times as I wanted to until I felt like I had achieved the brow look I wanted and everything looked blended, natural, and nice and filled in. You can absolutely stop at this step. A lot of days when I'm out the door in a hurry, this is the only step I'll do, but I am going to show you a couple extra steps you can add if you really want to take your brows to the next level. Next, I'm going to be taking some brow powder. This one is by the Brow Gal, and this is their Convertible Brow Powder Trio. And this brush is also by the Brow Gal. It's the one I showed you earlier with the spoolie on one side and the angled tip on the other. I'm going to be dipping into the darkest color over here. That's the closest to my natural hair color. Once I have a little on my brush, I'm going to be filling in with that powder in the areas that I filled in first with my pencil. So I'm still leaving that space toward the front of my brow where I went in more lightly with my pencil blank for now. I'm following the exact lines, the exact shapes that I made with my brow pencil, just using the powder to darken it a bit, and it also will set the pencil so that this look will last a little bit longer. Now you can see there's a really drastic difference between the part of my brow filled in with the powder and the front part, and we don't want it to be quite that obvious. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the same powder trio and I'm going to go with the middle color, which is lighter, and mix it with the dark brown. So I have a kind of in between these two shades, and I'm going to use that to very lightly fill in the front portion of my brow. And once again, I'm going in with my spoolie and blending everything out. After I filled in with the powder, I'm going to go in with some brow gel. This is also by the Brow Gal. I actually got all of these Brow Gal products in BoxyCharm boxes. That's how I discovered this brand, and I've really enjoyed everything I've gotten from them. So once I run out, I will absolutely reorder them. I'm going to take my brow gel, it comes on a little spoolie of its own, and just run it through my brow and place those hairs exactly where I want them to stay for the whole day. So if I have any brows who are off over here trying to do something a little funky, I'm gonna put them in their place and make sure they stay there all day. I'm brushing upward in the front of the brow here, making them a little bushy, and then as I get to the tail, I'm kind of bringing some of them down because I have a few who want to just stick up outside of where I filled in my brow. You might be thinking, we have done the most. Brows have to be done, but I'm going to show you one more step if you really want to take it to that extra place. And that's just carving out our brow with a little bit of concealer. For this, I like to use Tarte Shape Tape or any really long wearing concealer because I want this to stay in place all day. I like to take a little bit just on the back of my hand. I'm not going to need much. And then I'm going to take a brush with a very flat edge like this so that I can make very precise lines. I'm going to dip into my concealer here on the back of my hand, get a little on the back of my brush, and then I'm going to go right underneath where I filled in my brows just to carve them out and make a really sharp line there. As you can see, there's a very clear defined line of concealer sitting there right now, so I'm going to take the same brush and blend that concealer down into the rest of my eyelid. Usually I'm not wearing any eyeshadow at this point, so this will actually go straight into the eye base that I'm going to use. Now I'm going to do the same thing along the top part of the tail of my brow. Some people will carve out all the way across the whole top of their brow. You're totally welcome to do that. For me, I feel like it starts to get a little too fake looking. You're probably thinking, really girl, you have so much makeup on already. You're worried about the front part of the top of your brow. But for me, I'm just going to end up doing the top of the tail to get it nice and cleaned up. And once again, blending that out. And this is my finished brow. I'm gonna go do my other eyebrow off camera because right now I look like a straight up crazy person, and I'll be right back. And here are the finished brows, guys. I hope this tutorial helped you understand a little bit better about how to shape your eyebrows, how to fill them in. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. Leave a comment down below for me. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I love hearing from y'all. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I want all y'all to know when I have new things coming out too, so hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Another people. Hey guys, it's me, Caitlin. Oh, the chair squeaked so loud. Let's try again without moving as much. I love you. Thank you for my ring light.